Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. There are moments in wrestling that go far beyond the usual rivalries, shocking returns, or title matches. Every now and then, a storyline emerges that hits fans straight in the heart, not because of a dramatic finisher or a controversial promo, but because the emotional stakes feel painfully real. One such storyline centered around Triple H, a man known for his dominance, intelligence, and legendary career. Yet even with all his accolades, nothing could prepare him, or the WWE Universe, for the heartbreak that unfolded when the person closest to him stepped into a role he never saw coming, the King of Kings at his peak. Triple H, with championships stacked like trophies in a dynasty, was riding high during one of WWE's most intensely dramatic eras. Everything seemed lined up for him. Momentum, opportunity, and the unwavering presence of someone he trusted beyond all others, Stephanie McMahon. She wasn't just his partner in storylines. Their real-life connection made their on-screen alliance feel authentic. Together, they were a power duo who commanded authority every time they walked into an arena. Fans saw them as inseparable, united by loyalty and ambition. But beneath the spotlight and synchronized entrances, something subtle had begun to shift. Something the audience didn't notice until it exploded in the most painful way imaginable. Early signs of cracks in the foundation. Looking back, there were hints that the harmony between Triple H and Stephanie wasn't quite as flawless as it appeared. Little glances, slight hesitations, expressions that lingered a bit too long. These small gestures suggested that frustrations were simmering beneath the surface. Maybe Stephanie was growing tired of the increasingly intense choices Triple H made in his pursuit of dominance. Perhaps she felt overshadowed or left behind. Or maybe the two were simply drifting apart in ways neither recognized until it was too late. Wrestling stories often mirror real emotions, and fans sense tension rising like a storyline pressure cooker ready to burst. The night everything changed. The turning point happened during one of Triple H's biggest matches of the year, a championship opportunity that had the crowd buzzing with anticipation. The stakes were through the roof, and Triple H entered the ring with every ounce of confidence he'd earned over decades. Stephanie stood ringside, seemingly ready to support him as she always had. The energy was electric, the arena pulsing with thousands of voices cheering, chanting, and hanging on every move. Triple H fought with everything he had, feeding off the adrenaline that fueled him through countless wars in the squared circle. He was moments away from victory, steps from reclaiming glory, and that's exactly when everything changed. The betrayal that stunned the WWE Universe. In the most crucial moment of the match, when Triple H needed support more than ever, Stephanie did the unthinkable. Instead of helping him secure the win, she made a choice that stunned the entire arena and left fans sitting in silent disbelief. It wasn't a mistake or misunderstanding, it was deliberate. Whether she created a distraction, handed his opponent a key advantage, or simply stood aside when she could have intervened, the result was the same. Triple H watched his hopes crash in front of millions as the person he trusted most turned in a direction he never imagined. The defeat wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. A heartbreaking reaction in the middle of the ring. Triple H's expression after the betrayal said more than any promo ever could. This wasn't the look of a competitor upset over losing a match. This was the face of a man whose emotional world had been shaken. He didn't lash out, rage, or confront with anger. Instead, he lay there, staring up at the lights, struggling to process what had just happened. When he finally sat up, his eyes were filled not with fury, but with heartbreak. For someone who built a legacy on psychological mastery, strategy, and composure, this was a rare moment of vulnerability that made the storyline unforgettable. Stephanie's side of the story. What made the moment even more compelling was Stephanie's demeanor afterward. Her expression wasn't simply cold or triumphant. There was a complexity to it, a blend of determination and emotional conflict. Fans debated endlessly about her motivations. Was she trying to step out of Triple H's shadow? Did she believe he had lost his way? Or was she simply making a tough decision she felt was necessary, even if it came at a painful cost? Whatever the reason, her choice set off a chain reaction that transformed both characters in profound ways. The aftermath that changed everything. In the interviews and segments that followed, Triple H's emotional state became a focal point. Known for his sharp promos and legendary presence on the microphone, He suddenly struggled for words. The confidence, the swagger, the controlled intensity, all were replaced by someone trying to make sense of a betrayal he never expected. He spoke softly about trust, partnership, and the foundation they had built together, questioning whether any of it had been real. His vulnerability struck a chord with viewers who understood the pain of being blindsided by someone they cared about deeply. It was storytelling at its rawest, human at its core. Why this storyline resonated so strongly? What made this storyline truly unforgettable was the emotional authenticity it carried. Whether scripted or inspired by deeper truths, it tapped into universal themes: love, loyalty, ambition, heartbreak. Wrestling fans connected with it, not because of physical moves or dramatic stunts, but because it reflected real-life experiences. The fear of losing someone you trust, the shock of unexpected betrayal, and the struggle to rebuild yourself afterward. It elevated both Triple H and Stephanie as characters, showing their complexity in ways few storylines ever attempt. A turning point for both characters. In the months and years that followed, the fallout of this moment continued shaping their characters. Triple H evolved from an unbeatable powerhouse into a more layered figure, still dominant but hardened by emotional scars. Stephanie's character shifted dramatically as well, stepping into a new role defined by independence, authority, and the willingness to make tough decisions even when they came at a personal cost. The storyline's legacy lived on because it changed both of them in lasting ways, giving fans angles, promos, and matches rooted in emotional depth rather than simple rivalry. The lasting image that fans will never forget. For many fans, the most unforgettable image isn't the betrayal itself, but the aftermath. The sight of Triple H sitting alone in the ring after the match, championship hopes crushed, staring at the person he loved with visible confusion and hurt. It was a moment that silenced arenas, sparked debates, and created emotional ripples still discussed today. It reminded everyone that in wrestling, the most devastating move isn't a finisher, a punch, or a weapon. It's betrayal from someone you trust completely. Your thoughts on this legendary moment? So the big question is, how do you see Stephanie's decision? Was it justified? Was it driven by ambition, heartbreak, frustration, or something deeper? Or was it the ultimate betrayal? This storyline remains one of the most emotionally charged in WWE history, and fans still debate it passionately to this day. Share your take, because moments like these are exactly why wrestling continues to captivate us, not just as entertainment, but as storytelling that reflects the human experience.